Have you ever heard that a simple household oil could help bring back your energy, your confidence, and even the firmness you thought was gone for good? It sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that a few drops of eucalyptus oil, yes, the same oil you might use for colds or sore muscles, could awaken circulation and vitality in ways no expensive pill ever could? For many men over 60, this one change has completely transformed how they feel every morning. I'm Dr. James, a men's health specialist with more than 30 years of experience helping men reclaim their strength, stamina, and drive naturally. I've worked with thousands of patients who believe their best years were behind them until we reignited their body's natural ability to perform, to heal, and to feel alive again. Most people see eucalyptus oil as just a soothing balm, but here's where things get interesting. Beneath its cooling scent lies a powerful compound that can boost blood flow, relax tense muscles, and restore sensitivity to areas that have long been quiet. It's simple, natural, and supported by science, yet almost no one talks about it. So today I want to share the truth about how this humble oil can help your body feel younger again, without side effects, without pills, and without gimmicks. And stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal exactly how to apply it safely and correctly to awaken the deep, steady vitality every man deserves. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another science-backed men's health tip designed to keep you strong, confident, and full of energy. And if you find this video helpful, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and tell me what topics you'd like me to improve next. Your feedback helps me serve you better. Now, before we talk about how eucalyptus oil can restore your vitality, let's first understand why most men lose it after 60. Because the truth is, your body isn't failing you. It's simply changing. And once you understand what's happening inside, you'll see how easily it can be revived. Section 1. Why vitality fades after 60. When a man crosses 60, something begins to change quietly inside his body. It's not sudden and it's not a punishment of age, it's simply the biology of time. Over the years, your blood vessels lose flexibility, like old rubber pipes that no longer stretch as they once did. The heart still pumps, the mind still wants, but the pathways that carry energy and oxygen to every corner of your body begin to narrow. The result is what so many men describe to me in my clinic: a constant feeling of fatigue, a loss of morning drive, and a frustrating decline in erections that once came naturally. I've seen this in hundreds of men, and it never fails to touch me deeply. There's often a quiet sadness in their eyes when they say, "Doctor, I just don't feel like myself anymore." And I always tell them, there's nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. What you're feeling is your body's way of whispering that it needs care, warmth, and renewed circulation. It's not the end of strength, it's the beginning of understanding. You see, as the blood flow slows, not only the body but also the spirit begins to fade. You wake up tired, your mood shifts more easily, and even your connection with your partner may feel distant. But here's the truth that most men never hear. Aging doesn't destroy vitality. Stagnation does. The body, even at 70 or 80, still holds the incredible power to heal, to strengthen, and to feel pleasure again. It only needs a way to wake up the sleeping circulation within. When blood moves freely, life moves freely. When oxygen flows, energy returns. The sparkle in your eyes, the confidence in your walk, the strength in your grip, they're all tied to one thing: the quality of your circulation. That's why some men in their 70s still feel strong and passionate, while others begin to slow down much earlier. The difference isn't age, it's how well their blood flows through the smallest capillaries of their body. I remember one patient, a retired firefighter named Mark, who came to me at 68. He said, "Doc, I used to run into burning buildings, but now I can't even make it up the stairs without gasping." We ran all the tests. His heart was fine. His labs were decent. What he needed wasn't more medicine. What he needed was better circulation, more oxygen reaching the muscles and tissues that had been starving for it. Once we helped his body open those tiny vessels again, his energy returned like a flame catching wind. And this, gentlemen, is where our story turns interesting. Because there's a simple, natural way to stimulate that same kind of renewal. One that costs almost nothing, sits quietly in your home, and has been overlooked for generations. In the next part, I'll reveal how this humble oil works to reawaken your circulation and restore the vitality you thought was gone forever. Section 2. The Science of Blood Flow and Male Vitality. When most men talk about losing their strength or their sexual performance, they often blame it on testosterone. "Doc," they tell me, "my T levels must be low." And yes, hormones matter, but that's only half the story. The real foundation of male vitality is blood flow. Every spark of energy, every morning erection, every heartbeat that drives passion begins with how freely blood moves through your body. Without healthy circulation, nothing else works the way it should. Let me explain this in a simple way. When you were younger, your arteries were wide, smooth, and flexible, like new highways built for speed. Blood rushed to your muscles, your brain, and your penis without resistance. That's why you woke up with strong erections and a clear mind. But as you age, those highways begin to narrow. Cholesterol, stress, poor sleep, and years of tension act like debris piling up on the road. The traffic slows. Blood no longer flows with the same force. And when the flow weakens, energy fades and the body feels older than it really is. I've had older patients tell me, "It's strange, doctor, I still have the desire, but my body just doesn't respond." What they don't realize is that desire starts in the mind, but fulfillment happens through blood. Erections are simply a reflection of how well blood can enter and stay inside the tissue. When the vessels constrict or stiffen, the signal from the brain still arrives, but the body can't deliver. It's like turning on a faucet only to find a trickle instead of a steady stream. And this doesn't just affect intimacy, it affects your entire life. When your circulation weakens, your muscles tire easily, your sleep becomes restless, and your concentration slips. You may even feel emotionally flat, disconnected from your usual spark. That's because good blood flow is what keeps your brain alert, your heart steady, and your spirit alive. But here's the hopeful part. Circulation can be trained and restored. The vessels can open again, the heart can push blood more efficiently. And when that happens, everything, your energy, your mood, even your confidence, rises with it. I've seen men in their 70s regain the stamina they thought was lost forever simply by focusing on improving their blood flow naturally. Now, imagine if there was a simple way to encourage this healing every night. A small ritual that warms the body, opens the vessels, and reminds your system how to move again. It doesn't come in a pill or an injection. It comes from something far more natural and surprisingly familiar. In the next part, I'll share how eucalyptus oil, a remedy most people overlook, can awaken this inner circulation and breathe life back into every cell of your body. Section 3. How eucalyptus oil works in the body. For years, eucalyptus oil sat quietly in most households, used for colds, muscle aches, or as a comforting scent during winter. But very few people realize just how powerful this simple oil truly is. When I first began studying men's health decades ago, I was fascinated by how natural compounds affect circulation. And eucalyptus oil, with its distinctive scent and gentle warmth, caught my attention early on. Over time, I saw something remarkable. When used correctly, it could awaken blood flow in ways that made men feel alive again. The secret lies in one key compound, eucalyptol, also known as cineol. It's the heart of the oil's potency, a natural molecule that works like a gentle signal to your blood vessels and muscles. When massaged into the skin, eucalyptol helps the smallest blood vessels relax and widen, allowing more oxygen and nutrients to flow through. Think of it as opening tiny gates in the body that have slowly rusted with age. Once those gates open, warmth spreads through your muscles, your joints loosen, and the blood begins to move again. That flow of warmth isn't just a sensation, it's life returning to places that have felt dormant for too long. I've watched men describe that first experience with a smile. "Doc, it's like my body woke up," one said. "It's not just physical, it's emotional. I feel young again." That's what circulation does. It doesn't just feed the body, it rekindles the spirit. The soft heat from eucalyptus oil also helps release tension in the pelvic and lower abdominal muscles, which often become tight with age. When those muscles relax, blood can travel more freely through the arteries leading to the reproductive area. For many older men, that means more responsiveness, stronger erections, and an overall sense of restored vitality. Eucalyptus oil also has subtle effects on the nervous system. The aroma stimulates deep, calm breathing, lowering stress hormones that constrict blood flow. Each time you inhale its scent, your body receives the message, relax, open, breathe, and that relaxation itself allows blood to circulate better. Now imagine combining all of these effects, relaxed muscles, opened vessels, deeper breathing, and the comforting warmth of touch, into one simple nightly ritual. It's not a drug, it's not magic, it's your body remembering how to flow again. And that's the true beauty of this oil. It doesn't force your body to change, it invites your body to return to balance. But of course, like any natural therapy, the power lies not just in what you use, but in how you use it. And that's where most men make their biggest mistake. In the next part, I'll walk you through exactly how to apply eucalyptus oil safely and effectively so you can awaken your circulation without risking irritation or discomfort. Section 4. The proper way to use it. Whenever I share the benefits of eucalyptus oil with my older male patients, their first question is almost always the same. Doctor, how exactly should I use it? It's a fair question, and the answer matters more than most realize. You see, eucalyptus oil is powerful. It has strong active compounds that can do incredible things for your circulation, but only if applied with care and respect for your body. Used correctly, it brings warmth, energy, and renewal. Used carelessly, it can cause irritation or discomfort. So allow me to guide you step by step through a method that I've refined over the years. Simple, safe, and deeply effective. Start by pouring just a few drops of eucalyptus oil into your palm. Less is more, a little goes a long way. Then mix it with a carrier oil. Coconut or olive oil work beautifully. This not only softens the strength of eucalyptus but also allows it to spread more evenly across your skin. When you rub your hands together, you'll feel the gentle warmth begin to build. That warmth is where the therapy begins. Take a deep breath as the scent rises. It clears your mind, relaxes your lungs, and prepares your body to receive the energy you're about to awaken. Now, with slow, mindful movements, massage the oil across your lower abdomen, your inner thighs, and the sides of your pelvis. These are the regions where blood flow often becomes sluggish with age. Use soft circular motions, letting your palms move in rhythm with your breathing. You're not forcing the body, you're inviting it to open up again. As the heat spreads, you may feel a light tingling sensation. That's circulation waking up. Avoid applying the oil directly to the penis or other sensitive areas. The skin there is delicate and can react strongly to the concentrated compounds. Focus instead on the surrounding muscles and arteries that feed that region, the real source of blood flow and vitality. The best time to do this is at night after a warm shower when your pores are open and your body is relaxed. In just a few minutes, this quiet ritual becomes something more than a routine. It becomes a conversation with your body, a reminder that you're still capable of strength, passion, and care. Do it nightly, and over time, the results compound. Better sleep, more warmth, deeper relaxation, and renewed confidence in your own body. But this simple practice is only the beginning. When men follow it consistently, something even more profound starts to happen, not just in their circulation, but in their entire sense of self. In the next part, I'll share the real stories of men who discovered what this ritual awakened in them and how it gave them back far more than they expected. Section 5. Real results from real men. Over the years, I've watched countless men walk into my office with the same quiet frustration, the feeling that their strength, their energy, even their manhood was slipping away. Most of them had tried pills, supplements, or late-night miracle ads that promised instant results only to be disappointed. So when I told them that a simple oil, something sitting on their bathroom shelf, could help awaken their vitality, they looked at me with disbelief, but a few decided to trust the process, and what happened next changed how they saw themselves forever. One of my earliest patients to try eucalyptus oil therapy was Robert, a retired construction worker, 71 years old. He came to me exhausted and defeated. "Doc," he said, "I still love my wife, but my body doesn't keep up anymore. I just don't have the fire." We started simple, gentle nightly massages with eucalyptus oil, a little breathing, no pressure, no expectations. 3 weeks later, he came back with a grin I hadn't seen before. "I don't know what's happening," he said, "but my mornings feel lighter. My wife says I'm smiling in my sleep again." It wasn't just about erections, it was about feeling alive again. Then there was Samuel, 65, a retired teacher who struggled with constant fatigue. "I wake up tired, I go to bed tired," he told me. He followed the same nightly ritual for a month, combining the oil with a few minutes of stretching and gratitude breathing. When he returned, his posture was straighter, his voice more confident. "I feel like someone opened a window inside me," he said. "It's like air and light are finally flowing again." That's the power of circulation. It lifts not just the body, but the soul. These men didn't just experience physical improvement, they rediscovered joy. They laughed more, moved more, and connected more deeply with their partners. Their blood pressure improved, their sleep became deeper, and they began to carry themselves differently, with quiet pride. Each of them told me a similar thing in the end. It's not just what the oil does, it's what it reminds me of. That I'm still here, that I still matter. Hearing those words always humbles me, because behind every bottle of eucalyptus oil, there's something deeper, a man's decision to care for himself again. And once that decision is made, the body begins to follow. But before you start imagining quick miracles, there's one essential truth you need to understand. The power of this practice doesn't come from the oil alone, it comes from your consistency, your patience, and your ability to listen to your body. In the next part, I'll explain why this simple routine works best when it's done slowly, mindfully, and with respect for the natural rhythm of healing. Section 6. The emotional and physical connection. When men talk to me about losing their vitality, most focus only on the physical side, the fatigue, the stiffness, the lack of performance. But what many forget is that the body and mind are never separate. Every drop in energy, every weak erection, every restless night has an emotional echo. It touches how you see yourself, how you relate to your partner, even how you walk into a room. That's why when we talk about recovery, we don't just talk about the body, we talk about spirit, confidence, and self-respect. I remember a patient named Henry, 68, who came to me not because of pain or disease, but because he said he felt invisible. He wasn't sick, but he was tired of feeling small in his own life. When we began using eucalyptus oil as part of his nightly routine, I told him something simple. Don't think of this as a treatment. Think of it as a conversation with your body. The first week, he said he felt nothing but warmth. The second week, he noticed his breathing slowed. By the third, he looked brighter, lighter, as if something inside him had softened. He said, "Doc, I don't just feel better, I feel present again." That's the real secret. When you take a few minutes each night to touch, to breathe, to care for your own body, you're reminding yourself that you matter. You stop treating your body like a machine that has failed and start treating it like a loyal friend that simply needs attention. The warmth of the oil, the rhythm of your breath, the softness of your hands, all of these small acts send a message deep into your nervous system. You are safe, you are alive, and you are still capable of joy. It's no coincidence that as men regain their circulation, they also regain their laughter. Blood flow isn't just about oxygen, it's about emotion. When the body opens, so does the heart. Many of my patients tell me they start sleeping better, waking up lighter, even reconnecting with their partners in ways they thought were gone forever. That connection isn't about performance, it's about presence, the feeling of being fully there again. So when I ask you to try this, I'm not just asking you to improve your health. I'm inviting you to reconnect with yourself, to feel your own strength, and to rebuild the bond between your body and your spirit. Because once that connection is restored, everything else begins to heal naturally. And if you think this process sounds powerful, wait until you understand how consistency transforms it from a nightly ritual into a lifelong source of vitality and confidence. Section 7. Safety, realism, and long-term benefits. Over the years, I've learned that men over 60 are often searching for hope, but what they truly need is truth. The truth is that no oil, no pill, and no secret formula will transform your body overnight. Real healing doesn't rush. It builds quietly, day by day, with patience and respect for how the body works. That's why I always remind my patients that eucalyptus oil is not a miracle cure. It's a tool, a bridge between your effort and your body's natural ability to restore itself. Used correctly and consistently, it can bring changes that feel subtle at first, but grow stronger with time. When you start this practice, the first thing you may notice is warmth, not just on the skin, but deep within your muscles. After several nights, many men describe a surprising lightness in the body, a sense that they're breathing more easily, sleeping more deeply. Within 2 weeks, energy begins to rise, morning alertness returns, and blood flow improves. Then something even more meaningful happens. Your confidence begins to rebuild itself. You start moving differently, standing taller and feeling like the man you used to be. This isn't magic. It's circulation coming back to life. Of course, safety always comes first. Eucalyptus oil is strong and every man's skin reacts differently. That's why I always recommend testing a small amount on your arm before starting regular use. If you ever feel burning or irritation, stop immediately and dilute the oil further. And for men with heart disease, high blood pressure, or who are on medication, it's essential to speak with your doctor before beginning. Remember, this therapy isn't meant to replace medical care, it complements it, helping your body become more receptive to healing and balance. The most powerful transformations I've seen didn't come from the men who rushed, but from those who made this a quiet habit. They turned it into a nightly moment of calm, a pause from the noise of the day. They didn't measure progress by the minute. They felt it in the mornings, in their steps, in the sparkle returning to their eyes. It's that steady commitment, not urgency, that makes the difference between a temporary boost and lasting vitality. So if you've come this far, you already know this journey isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming energy, confidence, and intimacy in a natural way. And while eucalyptus oil is a powerful start, it's only one piece of the puzzle. In the next part, I'll share how aging gracefully isn't just about what you apply, it's about how you live, think, and honor the body that's carried you through a lifetime. Section 8. A gentle warning. Whenever I speak about natural therapies like eucalyptus oil, I feel it's my duty to be completely honest with you. As a doctor, I've seen the good that natural remedies can bring, but I've also seen what happens when they're used carelessly. Eucalyptus oil is powerful. That comforting warmth you feel when you use it is a sign of improved circulation, but it's also proof that this oil can be intense for sensitive skin. So my first word of caution is simple. Respect the oil. Always test it first on a small area of your arm. Wait a few hours to make sure your skin reacts comfortably before applying it anywhere near the abdomen or pelvis. If there's any burning or redness, stop immediately. Your body deserves care, not discomfort. Some men, in their eagerness to see quick results, apply too much or use it directly on delicate areas. I understand that desire to hurry the process, to feel strong again fast. But healing doesn't respond to force. It responds to consistency and balance. Dilute the oil with coconut or olive oil and remember that more isn't better. The goal isn't to create heat, it's to restore flow. Gentle warmth tells you the oil is doing its job. Sharp burning tells you it's time to stop. If you have heart problems, high blood pressure, diabetes, or are on medication, please talk to your doctor before beginning this or any other therapy. Natural doesn't always mean harmless, especially when your body is already managing other conditions. I've had patients who thought it's just oil and ignored these precautions only to experience irritation or lightheadedness. But when used carefully, it becomes one of the safest, most effective tools for circulation support. I tell my patients that the purpose of this practice isn't to chase instant performance, it's to build steady, sustainable strength. Think of it as teaching your body to breathe again through its own skin. The warmth, the scent, the relaxation, all of these are signals to your nervous system that it's safe to open up, to let blood flow freely again. When done mindfully, it becomes as calming for the mind as it is healing for the body. So treat this as more than a remedy. Treat it as an act of awareness. A man who knows how to listen to his body is a man who ages gracefully, powerfully, and with wisdom. And that wisdom becomes even more important in what I'm about to share next, because once you understand how aging truly works, you'll see that losing vitality was never the problem. The real secret lies in how you care for yourself as you grow older. Section 9. The deeper message, aging with dignity. With every passing year, I'm reminded that aging isn't something to fear, it's something to understand. The body may slow down, but the spirit inside a man doesn't age. What truly fades is not youth, but the attention we give to ourselves. I've met men in their 80s who walk with energy, laugh with confidence, and still look forward to tomorrow. And I've met others in their 50s who already feel old and defeated. The difference is never the number of candles on their cake, it's how they choose to live within their own skin. When you start caring for yourself, even through something as simple as applying eucalyptus oil each night, you're doing more than improving circulation, you're reclaiming your dignity. You're telling your body, I'm still here and I still deserve to feel good. That small act, done with awareness and patience, begins to change everything. Your body listens, your mind softens. Your energy, once hidden beneath years of stress and neglect, begins to rise again. And with it comes something far more powerful than physical strength, self-respect. I remember one of my oldest patients, Mr. Anderson, who was 78 when I first met him. He used to joke that his body was rusted like an old truck, but after a few months of consistent self-care, stretching, breathing, and using eucalyptus oil nightly, he told me something that stayed with me. "Doc," he said, "I used to think growing old meant disappearing. Now I realize it just means learning to shine differently." That sentence captured everything I believe about aging. You don't stop being a man when you grow older. You simply evolve into a wiser version of yourself. That's the real message here. Vitality isn't about looking young. It's about feeling connected, purposeful, and alive. It's about waking up with gratitude for the body that's carried you through decades of hard work, love, and sacrifice. And when you nurture that body with care instead of frustration, it rewards you in ways medicine never could. It gives you clarity, calm, and the quiet power that only comes with experience. So tonight, when you warm that oil in your hands and feel it glide across your skin, remember, this isn't just a ritual. It's a declaration that you're still in charge of your story. You're not waiting for life to happen, you're choosing to live it fully, right here, right now. And once you embrace that truth, you'll see that vitality is not something you chase, it's something you cultivate. But before we close, let me leave you with one final reflection, one that ties everything we've learned into a single, powerful truth about what it really means to live strong at any age. Section 10. Closing words from Dr. James. As we reach the end of this journey together, I want you to pause for a moment and think about everything your body has carried you through. The long years of work, the sleepless nights, the laughter, the heartbreak, the victories big and small. Your body has been your most loyal companion. It has never stopped showing up for you, even when you stop showing up for it. That's why I always tell my patients, you don't heal the body by fighting it. You heal it by finally listening to it. When you take a few minutes each night to care for yourself, to breathe deeply, to feel the warmth of the oil, to let your hands reconnect with your own strength, you are doing more than a physical act. You are reminding your body that it still belongs to you, that it's still capable of renewal. That small, quiet moment becomes a bridge between the man you were and the man you are becoming. It doesn't matter if you're 60, 70, or 80, the body still responds to love, to touch, to care. It always will. I've seen men who thought their best days were behind them suddenly rediscover energy they hadn't felt in decades. They didn't find it in a pill or a supplement, they found it in themselves, in the discipline to show up each night, in the faith to believe that healing can happen even now. Eucalyptus oil was simply the spark that reminded their bodies how to flow again. What really changed was their mindset. Once they stopped seeing themselves as old and started seeing themselves as capable, everything shifted. Their walk grew steadier, their voices stronger, their eyes brighter. This is the real power of self-care. It gives you back your connection to life. It reminds you that age doesn't define your potential. Your habits do. And those habits, when filled with patience, kindness, and consistency, can transform not only your health but your outlook on everything around you. So tonight, as you prepare for rest, take that small bottle in your hands, feel its weight, breathe in its scent, and let the warmth it creates remind you that life still moves within you. Because vitality isn't something you lost, it's something waiting patiently for you to return. But before we close, there's one last truth I want you to carry with you, a truth that might just change how you see aging forever. Because when you understand what truly keeps a man young, you'll realize it was never about the years at all. It was about the fire that still burns quietly inside. Conclusion. As we come to the end of this conversation, I want you to remember something that too many men forget. Your age does not define your strength, your vitality, or your worth. What defines you is how you choose to treat the body and soul that have carried you through a lifetime of experience. You've worked hard, loved deeply, and faced challenges that would have broken a lesser man. And through it all, your body, this remarkable, resilient vessel, has remained loyal. It might ache, it might slow down, but it's still waiting for you to care for it again. Everything we've talked about, blood flow, energy, eucalyptus oil, touch, consistency, comes down to one truth. The body responds to attention. When you give it warmth, it gives you strength. When you give it patience, it gives you balance. And when you give it respect, it gives you back the spark you thought was gone. Aging isn't the enemy, it's a teacher. It strips away the noise and shows you what really matters: health, connection, and the quiet confidence of a man who takes charge of his own well-being. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s rise again, not because of miracle cures, but because they decided to stop surrendering. They replaced self-doubt with self-care. They replaced frustration with intention. And through small, steady rituals, they discovered that their vitality was never truly lost. It was simply waiting to be reawakened. That's the beauty of the human body. It's built to heal, to renew, to fight for you even after years of wear. You just have to meet it halfway. So tonight, when you stand before your mirror, take a moment to look at yourself, not with judgment, but with gratitude. Those lines on your face, that silver in your hair, they're not signs of weakness. They're proof of a life lived fully. You've earned every one of them. And now it's time to honor that life by giving your body the care it deserves. Warm the oil in your hands, breathe deeply, and remind yourself that strength, passion, and confidence still belong to you. If this message speaks to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with another man who might need to hear that his story isn't over. Because when one man chooses to care for himself, others follow, and that's how we build a generation of men who age with dignity, energy, and pride. And as always, I'm Dr. James, reminding you that vitality doesn't fade with time. It deepens with wisdom, care, and courage. Now go live like you mean it, because life, even after 60, still has so much left to give.